Hello and welcome back to Morgan's lazy Sunday afternoon live stream where sometimes I'm productive and sometimes not so much. And we don't judge because we don't want to. I have Sako with me. Did you want to say hi?
Howdy, neighbors. It's Sako to me, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. Tomorrow I spend all day drawing on stream it's a $5 donation in order to get on my queue, and all the proceeds go to my mother's cancer treatments.
And she's still doing okay with the treatments?
Mm-hmm.
That's super.
She's gotten used to them, and she's steadily losing weight, which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
In her current state.
Right.
So. She looks great, but this is the thinnest I've seen her in like 3 decades.
Oh my goodness. So that's there's losing some, and then there's losing it at a healthy rate.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where she ends up when she's done and recovered from treatment. So I know it's pretty exhausting stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Today we are celebrating 1 year of quarantine.
Yes, we are.
And Pie Day. Oh, I gotta show off my shirt.
Pie.
1 bunny, 2 bunnies, 3 bunnies, 3.14 bunnies, and a very happy fox.
And a happy fox.
So I'm going to pop over to the comments and say hello. And M is here. Hello. Spence is here. Let's see. Lee is here. Hello. And Kelly. Thank you all for coming. And people who didn't want to chat with us or don't want to log in but want to hang out anyway. Y'all are still cool people. We just can't say hi to you directly. Yep. So Spence was sharing a lockdown story time for us. Lockdown happened a week before the Pizza Demon's birthday. He had been really excited to invite his classmates to his party. And at that point, he was in kindergarten. He came home that day with a handmade card from one of his classmates because it was important to that someone in his class that he still got a birthday card even a week in advance.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that is so sweet. In something that was otherwise a very scary day, there was a piece of brightness that we can celebrate unironically.
Yeah.
So, MM Award says they're having snow all day. We've got a week and then it'll officially be spring. So tell the snow it better hurry and finish up soon.
Yeah, no more April snow, please.
Right? All the roads from the prairie east to the mountains are closed. So MM Ward's hubby was given a snow day by his boss, and he's happy he's home for the hockey game. Awesome. Spence didn't even know it was Pie Day. There's still time. There's still time to make pie.
There's still time.
So Kelly saw a t-shirt referencing pie on the trail today, getting some exercise in, seeing some nature. Andy is here. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Andy.
MM says they've had snow as late as June. Oh my goodness. Well,
yeah, not here.
not in coastal Virginia. Doc is here. Hello and welcome. And Spence says that the card from the friendly kindergartner is tucked away with pictures of my grandparents on the sentimental shelf.
That's sweet.
Sounds about right. Oh no, Doc forgot to order pie from the grocery store yesterday.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. I was telling Saku before we began, I have ingredients and might try to figure out how to make a pie myself. And I do have a frozen shepherd's pie thing I picked up at the store last week just so I could indulge in extra pie for Pie Day. So yeah. Spence says There is time for pie. It's true. Mr. Spence and I aren't doing the DST stream until 8 or 9.
Which I may join, maybe, possibly.
So what's DST?
Do not, it's Don't Starve Together.
Okay.
So it's the co-op version of Don't Starve the game.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I was unaware.
Hunting and gathering sort of situation.
Cool. That sounds fun. So I needed to give a shout out to Vi Hart, the creator of Doodling and Math, because A, I love her videos, and B, she has a huge rant about how it should be tau and not pi, where tau is pi squared, since we use pi squared in almost all the calculations we use. So I'm going to link drop because it's my stream and I can. So I enjoy that series. I enjoy her hexaflexagon series, and I highly recommend her Why Fibonacci sequence keeps showing up in nature series. Those are my 3 favorite of hers. So it sounds like Award is totally on track for celebrating Pie Day with a chicken pie for dinner.
Chicken pie, yes.
I mean, it sounds kind of delicious. So, okay. Did we want to sprint? I was going to maybe sort out how to make the whole pie thing. I have some ingredients. I've never made anything other than a pumpkin pie, but it could happen. Could totally happen. Spence says for dinner. Her dinner is there. They're going to have Mexican takeaway to celebrate finishing that first draft. Woo! Super excited for you. So exciting to do that, like, you know.
Writing the end is so satisfactory.
That part.
Satisfying.
Although, this is also when I usually download a copy on my laptop and send a copy to someone just so they have it in their email. And yeah, just make sure it's in multiple places.
Yeah.
And I label it like rough draft, and then I make a copy, and then I start making edits just so I have that version, that original there.
Me too.
So,
yeah.
So, and I was like, oh yeah, first draft party. And Spence liked my idea. MM likes to write to be continued a lot more than the end. I mean, they do tend to do that.
I like endings.
All right. I mean, unless the world has ended, you don't actually have things end typically. Because the people
aren't end, you know.
Right. But, you know, usually not everyone in the story is dead. So
I guess if you're thinking as life is an end.
True. Very true. So, okay. You want to sprint?
Sure.
Let's do this. Boom. Okay. So let's get some words in or make some pie in 3, 2, 1, start. So the alarm went off, but it didn't sing to me. I don't know what happened. The tab's not muted. Oh, okay. Give me a second.
We heard it.
Okay. It's weird. I probably decided to play out of my microphone.
Oh, probably.
So that's fun. But anyway, how was your sprint?
Good. I mapped out next week and I've got the important dates down. I just need to port over notes for next month.
Nice.
Over into this week so that I don't lose track of them.
I hear that. I made my first cheesecake, although I was reassured by Google that I could substitute 2-to-1 lemon juice for lemon zest. A friend has reassured me that I have totally destroyed the consistency by adding too much liquid. So we'll see how it ends up. Maybe I should just bake it a little longer so it'll dry out. Oh no, it's in the oven and the batter tasted delicious. So
I bet it did.
So that was my sprint. I mean, yeah, I've never made anything other than a pumpkin pie. So, but you know, sugar and cream cheese and vanilla, you can't go too bad with that, and lemon juice clearly. So, I'm gonna pop into the comments. Doc says his wife just took a tortilla and strawberry jam and made him a quote-unquote strawberry pie.
That's hilarious.
Jenny joined us. Hello and welcome.
Hi, Jenny.
Sarah someday will be on my stream, but today she is coming to us from the noisiest place in Illinois. They're building in her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And woke her up at 8 a.m.
Ugh, gross.
With no heads up. So yeah, that was
also suck.
Yup. Jenny says, I hope it stops soon. It's been going all day. Sarah says, hit that like button. Allie showed up. Hello and welcome. Hi. Sarah thinks they might be wrapped, but this is the third time she's thought that, and she's sus.
Yeah.
The noise stopped maybe 5 minutes ago, but they did finally shut the front door. So, you know, in their defense, they're nice and their music has a nice beat, even if she can't make out the words.
Cool.
So, Allie is resurrecting a novel from 10 to 15 years ago. And she liked to use exclamation mark every other word. Has tons of weird pauses. And I don't remember a darn thing that happened. Oh, so I know a lot of y'all were at the write-a-thon, so I hope y'all had a good time.
Some were better than others.
I kept up with my regular stuff, and yeah, this the science fiction and fantasy club that I'm a board member of had their monthly meetings from 7 until 10:30 last night, so
Ooh.
I was pretty booked. It wasn't bad. Next month should be worse because things and stuff. But yeah.
Sure.
So this sprint, Andy printed out the first 3 chapters of his draft novel. So he had notes handy for rewriting and got 277 words in a short he has to have done by May 1st. Awesome. Doc got 229 words on his midpoint self-assessment for work. Oh,
I talked about like self-assessment for chaos magic.
That sounds a lot more fun.
It's not.
Yeah. So, hello, Blue Cotel Show. I think this is your first time here. You might have swung by towards the end last week, but I think this is your first time. So, hello and welcome. Kelly found the problem with making cheesecake is the trick is cooling 6 hours. I did add 2 eggs. So that was a thing. It told me I only needed to cool it for 3 hours. So you said 6? Well, I might still eat it before midnight. We'll see. So Sarah is so happy she developed her feelings about the exclamation mark before she used it in anything she had to edit.
Yeah.
A writer's time is always booked. Nice. Enjoyed it.
There.
Right. So Allie is writing everything into an info file and then gonna rewrite the whole novel.
Have fun with that.
Yup. Nightbot thinks it's time for a stretch. Oh.
I've been sitting for a long time.
Oh wow, that crunched. Oh, whew. I've been moving more this past week. And A, my feet are not happy, and B, the rest of me probably is because it's been moving, and bodies apparently are very much use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So unlike your writing will always be there for you when you come back 10 to 15 years later and pull it out of the drawer.
And then and you can use it or lose it as well. Like skills can.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to write.
How long did that take?
It basically took a read through of some of my old writing.
Yeah. It's like riding a bicycle. You might be a little rough at first, but it gets back up there.
Yeah.
So, which I did ride a bicycle at the beginning of the pandemic that I hadn't ridden in a while, and I was quite nervous the entire time. I am not a comfortable bike rider. It was definitely a workout because I was very tense the entire time. But I mean, I could ride it. I just, So, Lee would like us to admire your kitty, who apparently did a drive-by.
Yes.
So,
yes, she did.
Allie just sat down, so didn't need to stretch. Doc, however, was on a writing group tag up for 2.5 hours before this. Yeah. So he needed to stretch. So Allie says she's learned a lot since 10, 15 years ago. So it will be easier and a lot of WTF was I thinking moments.
Yep.
So MM got 471 words. Noise. Doc called it anxiety bike. Kelly said the recipe he followed was different. 4 eggs, cream cheese, sour cream, sugar, and salt. Yeah, no. I just read the graham cracker crust packaging that said 16 ounces of cream cheese, 2 eggs, half a cup of sugar, some lemon zest, and and some vanilla. I was like, I have those ingredients, and it's pie day, so this is happening. Wait, does cheesecake count as pie? Yes.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
The cake is a misnomer.
Andy thinks Anxiety Bike is a good band name / story name.
Yeah, that's my emo project. Emo side project.
I think on Rock Band back in the day, my band was called Violent Hedgehogs. I thought that was a great band name. I really enjoyed it. So, Allie would like us to reassure her 5-year-old that bedtime does not mean scream for an hour while playing. I don't know if your 5-year-old's going to listen to me, but no screaming. Bedtime means go to bed. You can tell little quiet stories with your stuffed animals from in the bed. So,
from in the bed.
Kelly went through 6 pages of feedback from his editor during the sprint. She basically ripped it to pieces. I mean,
that's what they're for.
Yup. Doc would like to reassure us that pizza does indeed count as pie. And Kelly's like, can't forget the vanilla. I have vanilla concentrate that I might use instead of vanilla extract. It's a little stronger and delicious. And my dad keeps supplying me with vanilla because I make 20 pounds of fudge during the holiday season. And so, and with 3 tablespoons per every 3 pounds, that's a lot of vanilla I go through. If you get one of those the regular size that you find in the store is 3 tablespoons. So it would be 1 per. So he tries to get the large bottle so I can do that. So Allie would like to reassure us that pizza is round, but that's because she doesn't have French bread pizzas in her freezer like I do. The French bread ones are great because I love the crust. The crust is my favorite part. And they're really easy to have a single size serving.
Hey, what are you doing?
Do we have kitty help?
So my Void is trying to harass the old lady. And he's too fat to get certain places. So instead he'll try to climb but fail because his ass is too heavy.
Okay.
There.
Someone tried to tell me that cheesecake is not a pie. And they have reassured her that it should be called cheese pie then. Then I guess I'm making cheese pie. So there we have it.
Poor Sarah.
I lost the tab. I don't know where it went. Nope, that's not the tab. There we go.
When you have so many that it no longer does the icons because the icons take up too much space.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, Sarah. So, yeah, vanilla is really expensive. That's why it's an excellent gift for my family to give me. Doc's kitty help is falling down on the job. Falling down on the job. And Allie suggests Sarah try blasting her own music. So I found out that yesterday during a voice to text session, I got 625 words in 10 minutes.
Nice.
So that went really well. I'm pretty pleased with that. So next sprint, I'm going to be incorporating it into the document and then maybe doing another session. We will see. Do we want to write again?
Yes.
Okay. Let me reset this timer and bring it up, and let's get started in 3, 2, 1, sprint. I'm breaking in early. Is this the appropriate amount of jiggle, or should it go in for a little longer? Don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Usually I do the toothpick test.
Okay. I will try. The center looks a little damp, but the rest looks cheesecakey. Oh. I have so many toothpicks. Where'd they go? Okay.
Welcome back.
5 more minutes and then I'll check it again. And if the middle looks as dry as like the outer bits, I'll be fine.
It'll and Mama Ward is also right in that as it cools, it'll solidify.
Right. The rest of it though looks done, but the center looks a little in and B damp. So.
Which is you can take it or leave it.
Yeah. So. Sorry about that. So sorry for interrupting that end of the sprint. I actually started on my taxes instead of writing because A, I'm stalling, but B, I had a 30% off thing that might have already expired, but I wanted to see if it would work. So I went ahead and started so I could maybe get the discount.
Yeah.
So I really wish all tax forms were due to you by January 31st. W-2s are, but your interest forms from all the banks and your healthcare coverage stuff show up by the end of February.
Yep.
Maybe. There might still be stuff outstanding. I don't know. The struggle is real. So, anyway, I'm going to pop over to the comments and see what's happening. Sarah is not going to blast her music because the equipment is too loud without, blasting out her own ears.
Yeah.
Allie says her Kindle chat keeps not updating. I'm sorry, hon. There's a pretty crown on the last write-a-thon stream, and Allie's fighting with her muse because, as she says, we don't have any stories about royalty.
Both of my my crowns are on the table.
I mean, you could do a story about a royal pain in the tush. Mm-hmm. That counts as royal something. Right? Thank you everybody for weighing in on it will set as it cools in the toothpaste test. Toothpick. Sorry, not toothpaste, clearly.
Did you couldn't find any toothpicks?
Oh, I did. It was damp all the way through.
Okay.
So yeah. Jenny is trying to figure out a writing schedule for herself starting in 2 weeks since she'll be full-time at home after the 26th. Not sure how I want to work the schedule. Good time. I have time to figure it out. And if it stops working, change it. But I would say give it a try for about 2 weeks before you shift it up, just so you can get into the habit and see if you can make it work. So Andy got 378 words written and managed to salvage something from another short story to add to this one. I love that. I love when that happens.
I like cannibalizing old content.
Right? And
Especially
Doc,
if I don't remember how it goes. Like for music and stuff like that, I'm like, I had a chord progression for this, but heck, if I remember it, I have lyrics, I might as well just rewrite the lyrics and keep the melody.
love it. And Doc got another 266 words written on his self-assessment. Nobody likes self-assessments.
No, they suck.
Terrible. They're horrible. And so yeah, progress. Everybody's being so productive. My mother has assured me and sent me the link of Elton Brown reassuring the world that cheesecake is pie. So he's the definitive word. I'm not going to argue with Elton Brown.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Kelly says that a cheese pie is a sensitive dessert. When it cools, it will shrink. And if there are cracks or splits or cracks, that will be a relative to ingredients you used, how well you mix them, and or temperature changes. But it'll still taste like cheesecake. So
yeah.
Doc likes
it doesn't have to be pretty.
So got 368 words. I have a timer going off.
Go do it.
Talk to the audience, Sako. Take it away.
Take it away. Recycling. I like cannibalizing. That is.
You would.
Yeah. Because it's just one song eating another. If it's or like a short story eating another short story.
Yeah. I looked. It's closer. It's much closer. So I'm going to give it another couple minutes.
Cool.
So.
Ali.
It smells so good. So good.
Artistic necromancy. Yes. Necromancy. Put the weird syllable in the wrong. Yeah. Wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Doc says artistic necromancy, or wait, cannibalizing terms. It's a phrase you can really sink your teeth into. Nice. I like it. Whew. So,
oof, indeed.
Do you have anything thrilling and exciting to celebrate Pi Day with?
To celebrate Pi Day with? No. I am somewhere between a dear friend of mine wants to hang out and eat ice cream and weep. And she found out that my date nights end at like 9:30. So she was like, oh my God, we need to have a late night date. And I was like, okay, so how about Friday? And she's like, how about next Friday? And I was like, I have a stream the next day. please have mercy on me. How about the Friday after that? Oh, you'll probably be in Lynchburg. Well, then it's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
well.
This stream is commemorating the last 1 year since lockdown began. So I was just thinking that we might, look back on, social isolation and talk about how this last year has been good, bad, ugly, obviously different than expected, but
different than expected. I actually found that I'm a lot more productive. I'm putting out more content. It's like stuff that I've been doing for years and years and put on a back burner for eternity for the comic book that I ended up getting fired from or laid off from. It's weird.
Is it still going on?
It's still going without me. So she's drawing it herself.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm so behind. And I'm like, welcome to my world.
Yup. So that I would think is more, a reaction to the not having that major time suck, which
So I finally, like, March hit, happened, and then April hit, and I was like, I have nothing better to do with my time than to go back and finish some of these projects. So I finished a book and I released it.
Yay!
And
What a
like,
feeling.
What a feeling. And like, I finally have hard copies, and one of them has your name on it.
Yes.
And
Yes. Sorry, a little excited.
Yeah, it's going to be. And then I'm working on this book with BC Brown, which we're encroaching on the third draft, almost the fourth.
Right.
And I'm already going into editing mode.
Oh,
so I'm, like, I
go into multiple drafts without being in editing mode.
We keep adding scenes.
Oh, okay. That
so way. I'm going through and making sure they're congruent.
Right. That makes sense.
And kind of like combing the sentence structure and doing line by line. And
right. Okay. I
reading it out loud.
Nice. I found that my writing is just about just like it was before the pandemic. It expands to take up as much time as I have without me getting significantly more progress. When I have more restrictions on my time, I get more into it, more done.
I learned that a 5-hour workday is like the best, because if you are given 8 hours, then there is going to be dick around time. But if you have 5 hours, that is how much actual work you get done. You tend not to work in dick around hours when you have only 5 hours to work.
That makes sense. Cool.
And it leaves me with the rest of the day to do whatever I want, which is something that I'm still struggling with. Like, do I work on projects for myself? Do I play video games? Do I take another nap? What the? I don't know what to do. Normally, I would go visit a friend, but if the environment being what it is, it's still not great. So I'm like,
work from home is a lot like I thought it was going to be, in which I feel like I didn't actually spend that much time doing what I was supposed to be doing. So I end up staying at my desk longer to get around to doing it.
Clock your time.
Yeah. So I'm just, both day job and writing stuff. So I've definitely,
I definitely know those feels where. So I've started doing this, like, it's 30 hours a week. I want to work 30 hours a week.
That makes sense.
On these projects that will eventually make me money.
Right.
And
2 seconds. I'm listening. I'm just behind the camera.
Yep.
Peeking in at the pie.
I follow. So, and I'm doubling up on, like, so it's like 6 hours on one thing, 3 hours on another thing, rather than 10 projects, 3 hours each. I decided to do this week. I'm adding more time to photos and commission work.
Oh, bleep. This is a photo book year for my niece, so I need to get started on that.
Oh, whoops.
Right. Well, it'll come out eventually. If it's late, it's late.
If it's late, it's late.
So.
But yeah, like, time management has been like a focal point, like, in 2020, and 2019 was a big deal for me. So I found that I was getting more work done in a 5-hour work day, and then I'd be off. And then if I still wanted to work at night, then I would work at night. So I would get upwards to like 10 hours a day and still be able to live my life.
Nice.
Still be able to sleep, still be able to eat, self-care. So working self-care into my schedule, and self-care is not a reward.
No.
None of that like, oh, like right as soon as I finish this thing, I'm going to go take a shower. No. Take the shower first, then finish the thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to pop into the comments. Going back to the keeping your outtakes. Keeps all her discarded, trimmed, cut, and old creativity so she can, quote, recycle, because writers can be green too. And she always finds homes for her orphan scenes later. Legit.
I often do too. Legit. Sometimes the scene is so strong, I just want to leave it the way it is, but then it's just a flash fiction.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a scrap, but like it seems that flash fiction is a thing, and like that was my bread and butter when I was in high school.
Yeah, I totally get that. Allie found out she loves going outside, just hates people outside because it's too peoply out there.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Doc hasn't had a haircut in a year. Oh my goodness. Mine, I have trimmed myself 3 times, I think.
I'm about at the point where I should trim some of the damage off.
Yeah. Mostly if I'm on a live stream and the ends are looking really raggedy, I'll, go at it the next time. So says, not much change for us out on the farm. Still only went into town every couple weeks, but we had a protocol for each time he came home. Virtual school and doctor appointments were the hardest part. Yeah, I get that. Says, hard copies in hand feels awesome. Yes! Right? That's so exciting. So exciting.
I'm actually keeping one for myself, by God.
You better.
I have a really bad habit of like giving away or selling all of them and never keeping one for myself.
Do I still have copies of your comic? Or did you just call back of the ones you were getting rid of that because it had a new cover? No, you took those with you. I don't think I had those. Okay. Anyway, I
can hook you up with a copy of the first chapter. Like,
I think I have one.
Okay.
So yeah, Doc totally agrees that a 5 to 6 hour workday is optimal. And for him, he finds that work from home is more productive, but more grueling. Fewer distractions, so you work more intensely.
Fewer distractions, so you work more intensely.
I wish. I have a lot of distractions at home, and I keep getting put onto new projects that require a lot of spin up, and it's hard to stay focused when they're like, here's 12 PowerPoints, go read them, and this huge spreadsheet,
And the PowerPoints are like 60 slides in.
I haven't had any that bad, but yeah. Good. So it's just
military contracts.
Yeah. I've had some, but this current project or this past year, I have not had that bad. Documentation that's like 120, 200 pages. Yeah. But not PowerPoints that bad. So, but it's just hard to get momentum when by the time you figure out what you're doing, they're switching you over to a new project, which I had a lot of last year, unfortunately.
That really sucks.
When I know what I'm doing, clearly I can do that. But when I'm still coming up to speed, it's a lot harder to stay focused for that long.
Yeah, sure.
Allie says she really misses people watching. I get that. Andy says, I guess I'm an outlier. Work from home is nice, but I do miss having a distinct break between work and home. Riding the metro gave me space.
I force myself to clock out after 5 hours.
Nice.
Like there is a clock in time and a clock out time.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of fuzzy because I do those coffee hours in the morning. But usually, like, if I get up early, like, I'll go ahead and I'll put in a couple of hours before the coffee hour, and then I'll pick up the torch right after.
I'm not even up early enough for your coffee hour. I'm so excited. The new project I'm on, the team is based in California, so I don't have to get up any earlier.
You don't have to, you can wake up at noon.
No, I've been getting up. I mean, my alarm goes off at 9:30, and I'm usually at work sometime in the 10 o'clock hour.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So, but yeah, it's been, self-discipline is not always my best.
Yeah, I've been working for myself at home for, I guess, going on 10 years now.
Yeah.
And like, I learned a lot of things.
I get that. So let's see. One thing I do when the weather is nice is when I finish day job, I go for a walk around my neighborhood and I think about my story and where it's going next. I've been doing this week, and it's a good transition, and it gets me daylight and some exercise and some time away from this chair.
That's awesome. My smoking habit gets me out of the blanket fort and
gotcha.
Walking around where like I gotta go get a drink and I can kind of
my pie's done. I'll be right back.
Dance for a couple of minutes, get all the kinks out of my joints. Oh, that's cool, Mama Ward. Having a book that's like made from all scraps.
Nice.
Allie has a 5-year-old, so people watching kind of tough.
Toothpick came out clean and the center's no longer dipped down. Do I let it cool on the counter a little, or do I put it immediately into the fridge?
I would leave it on the counter for a little bit.
Okay.
But that's me. I like to have that transition between room temperature and...
Yeah. Kelly was saying it needs that temperature changes can do bad things for it. So I don't know. Oh my God, it smells so good. I have to wait how long to eat it? So bouncing back to the comments, Allie never went to the hairdressers before the pandemic, so whatever. MM has a book that's a quilt made from scraps and orphan scenes. Doc says, I hate the commute, but now that it's gone, I realized how much of a buffer it was to transition. Yeah.
Yep.
Allie loved the commute, always lived it. Always loved it, I'm assuming. I have a 10-minute commute when I am going into the office, and I find it's not enough of a transition, so I need to have some downtime before I start doing stuff after. I think a 20 minutes to an hour is a good break buffer to really reset between focuses.
I gotcha. I do once I get into a groove, 2 hours on one project, 2 hours on another project, 2 hours on another project. So that makes me like, that's like just the right amount of time to like actually be able to stick a pin in something.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So Andy says, I hated driving on 95 or 495, but the metro is fine. And I wish that was the case for everyone. I've never lived anywhere that the metro was an option. So Kelly told me that he leaves his in the oven to cool down with the oven. Mine's on top of the oven, and it's definitely gone down a bit already. But okay, I will definitely let it cool on the oven before I put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
So at least soften the blow. Allie takes the bus, so gets to sit, relax, and zone out. So, and Mr. Vlandis is here.
Hi, Mr. Vlandis.
Hello. Doc says when he first moved to this area, he lived across the street from work. So it's just a couple minutes of walk time. It still made it easy to leave work behind. Yeah. One thing I used to do not when I lived here, but elsewhere is when I would sit down to work on my writing, I would take my laptop upstairs and sit down at my desk and do it there. And other stuff I would do downstairs. Just having a different space for a different work process. But in this house, I don't have it set up like that.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So says the slow temperature change is important for the cheese pie. Should I put it back in the oven while the oven cools, or is it okay that it's on the counter? Now I'm worried. Now I'm very worried. Says for candies, you want the fast cool so the sugar makes the small crystals. Yeah, I get that. I've been thinking about my fudge and thinking it might harden more evenly if I put the loaf tins on a cookie rack so the air can flow underneath it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where usually I just put it on the countertop. So that's my plan for next year, if I remember. Remind me when I get to fudge making season, because I'm sure you'll remember.
Well, I know.
So, and Mr. Vlandis swung by to say hi and has to leave. Well, we're glad you swung by.
Hello, goodbye.
I hope you have a lovely pie day and happy 1 year anniversary of
quarantine. Yeah.
Social isolation. Doc says, I do have plenty of places in this house if I take the laptop. My major problem is that the power insert spot is really fiddly. And so once I get it charging, I don't want to move it. So that's made me more reluctant to work on my couch or work on the dining table or whatever. And I really should just pony up the cash for a new
adapter.
Yeah. I got a corner one, but it still needs to be fiddled at just the right angle. And so I just gave up. So Kelly says, don't worry about popping it back in. I believe the consensus is as long as the cheese pie tastes good. Let's hear it for not having a 2nd year anniversary to the pandemic. I'm on the list for the vaccine. I am waiting for my call. Currently, I'm getting my weekly. It's not your turn yet. We didn't forget about you. Peace out.
Oh, yeah. If they're calling me, I'm not answering.
No, they haven't called me, but I signed up for the registration and I told them to text me. And so I'm getting once a week a text that says, we haven't forgotten, you're still on the wait list. Virginia recently rolled out a statewide registration thing. So you can go ahead and register no matter what bracket you're in, and it will just let you know when your turn comes around.
Cool.
So definitely check that out.
I will.
It might be on the Virginia Gov website, but a lot of states are stepping up their rollout process. So Doc says maybe next laptop. This one's still working fine as long as I don't try to stream OBS. I can use OBS. It's a video processing thing, but I can't Zoom and stream and have OBS running at the same time.
No.
That's when my computer was like, no, you have a frame rate of 1 picture per 10 seconds. If you ever go back to my early live streams, you will see the struggle. It was fine when I did solo, and then Sako joined me, and then I was on Zoom instead.
Kaboom!
It was like, noops. Allie says she has plenty of places to go, but her butt just says no. Yay! Ward has reassured me on the counter is totally fine. It won't overcook. So I'm doing it right. Yay! Do I let it cool completely before I fridge it, or just wait until it stops like poofing up when it's back down to a level? I don't know these things. I guess I should give it at least half an hour.
At least.
So we will see. So,
I would wait until it's room temperature, but that's me.
But if I have to wait 3 to 6 hours after it goes in the fridge.
Yeah.
The later it goes in the fridge, the later I get to eat it.
It's true.
Although I did start counting calories again, and if I can't eat it till after midnight, they don't go till tomorrow. I'm clearly not on a diet of any sort.
You're just counting calories.
I'm just counting calories. I'm eating what I want. Just, it makes me double think that snack if I have to account for it on the thing. That doesn't mean I didn't get half my calories from a bag of chips the other day. I mean,
I miss chips.
Yeah, but I would like to get back down to a healthier size, and I would like my pants to fit me again. I have about 3 pairs I can wear right now.
I have like a pair.
Yeah. So I'm not changing my eating habits in any way, shape, or form other than cutting down on snacking. Maybe. No. Honestly, holding myself accountable that if I do snack that much, I'll basically skip dinner because I already had those calories.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So yeah, not a huge amount of change there. Just, I mean, while counting calories, I definitely finished a whole thing
of Pringles
barbecue. I could buy bigger pants,
but that is a big assessment that you have to make of yourself. Like that's a big admittance.
The truth is, my sister just had a baby. She's always been 10 pounds heavier than me, and she's now less than me. And we're identical twins, and that just can't stand. I mean, let's be honest here. Both of us have this thing where neither of us want to be like standing next to each other and have one of us look like the before and one look like the after picture. So, I mean, we're not fully identical. She's got an inch and a half on me, but she can unlock my laptop with her face. So I think that gives you a good judgment on how identical we are.
I have spent enough time around you guys that I can tell you apart.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Yeah,
like
it's just
your mannerisms are different.
Right. If you've met us once or twice in passing, you might either get confused or be like, there's something different about you. But yeah, so popping over to the comments. Kelly's like, ooh, cool on the counter. He's going to try that next time. Allie says her weight comes from 130 to 150, then back down again. Doc says it's a contractual obligation to neither of us be the before picture.
Yeah.
Or neither of us. Yeah. We both want to stay the after. And MM says, yes, cool it completely. Okay. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad you're here.
I needed help. I was hoping either you or Spence would be here to help advise me through these hard times of making pie.
For the first time ever.
All right. I usually have pretty good luck with trying recipes, as long as it's not random person's online recipe. I did that once, and from now on, I'm going with either a friend's recipe that I've tried before, or a brand name recipe, because there was some weird stuff in that recipe, and it did not quite turn out right.
Yeah.
It definitely had a Midwest casserole feel to it. So enough said. MM says if I refrigerate it before it drops to 150, it may get a little rubbery in texture. Well, we don't want that. I do have a meat thermometer. Can you use that on pie? I guess so. Oh, even better. I have this guy.
That'll do it.
Oh, wow. I'm a little warm. I'm 98.3 right now.
Nice.
I usually run a degree low. So let's go see what the pie is. I'm sure that's, the burning question on everybody else's mind.
Damn, Alexis. Let us see what the pie is. Hi.
I don't think it's gonna tell me. It's above its limit.
It's above its limit.
So Allie says she eats lots of snacks just to annoy her mother, as she's always yelling me about my weight. You shouldn't be doing that. Nobody should be yelling about people's weights. That's their own business. And a great way to create an eating disorder. For my height and age, I'm barely over my top weight, and my boobs are like 50 pounds in and of themselves. Yeah. The struggle is real, yo.
Jeez. I was 105 pounds when my dad said that I needed to wear a girdle.
I have thoughts about your dad sometimes.
That was many moons ago.
Yeah. My parents are much better about that. But I did spend my teen years dancing 12 and a half hours a week, plus rehearsals. So I think, yeah. But I stopped, and then puberty caught up with me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So let's see. Kelly, whoop. It jumped just as I clicked. Kelly usually buys his pants a little big, but since I haven't been consuming calories as I used to, my weight's been consistently lower. He needs a belt or suspenders. Suspenders can be kind of nice. Kelly was chuckling at my temperature gauge, telling us hi. Andy, this pie has a fever, and the only cure is cowbell. More cowbell. It should be more cowbell. But true, I haven't had any cowbell. So Allie says her mother is not supportive, so that's not cool. Doc says, I have thoughts that I'm unable to voice on my own stream due to the clean rating. No, I share most of my thoughts, although, I will say bleep as a curse word in real life. So that really doesn't have that much to do with the stream.
Yeah.
MM says, my grandma used to say the only cure was a dinner bell.
That's funny.
Allie says, as long as I'm under 200, I don't give a bleep. And Kelly does have suspenders. Yes. Andy says, that sounds like a grandmother speaking. Speaking of the dinner bell, yeah, you actually stayed late.
You actually stayed a little late today. Yeah.
We're glad we could entice you with pie. Have a lovely evening and super productive. Totally snaps. Well, speaking of that means we're less than 20 minutes out from the end of this evening. So let's get another sprint in.
Sure.
I need to get some words done, not just pie.
Not just pie.
Or maybe finish my taxes, one of the two. I've got 1095s and 1099 ints and whatever in front of me.
Yeah, I got you.
So, okay, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Sorry about that. The timer thing still isn't verbally going for me.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I will sort it out later. But I got a couple words in. I finally cleaned up that segment I wrote yesterday, and I got like another paragraph, and I got another 90 words. So
cool.
Actually,
I apparently wrote upwards to like 3,000 words earlier today because I'm doing different meditations every day of the week.
Oh, fun.
So I wrote up like 5 meditations and apparently came out to like almost 3,000 words.
Wow. Nicely done. So
now I get to go through and edit it.
Yeah, I started off trying to do taxes and locked myself out of my mortgage website. So
oh, cool.
Oh, bleep. I refinanced. So they may have closed my account. And I don't have a print copy of that tax form.
Oops.
So yeah, I closed on my refinance on Tuesday. I'm saving $400 and change a month.
Oh.
Which is totally worth refinancing. And yeah, so I might have to call them to get those numbers then.
Yeah, it seems as such.
So yeah, I would like to get credit for the interest I paid last year.
Yeah.
So popping into the comments, let's see. Doc says, while the pie cools, there's time for words.
Yes, indeed.
Exactamundo. It smells so good. Cannot wait to eat it in my face. Ali says, planning gaming streams with Americans is hard. I'm sorry. Struggle. Supposed to play Sims and chat with American BFF, but she's in dinner.
North Dakota?
And I'm at 10:30 p.m. So, well, have a good evening, and I hope you sleep well, Allie.
Good night.
Spence ate dinner and took a power nap and adores your crown. I mean, legit. Look at that glimmer, shimmer, so pretty. Doc got another 248 words on his bleeding self-assessment.
Bleeding.
Right. And yeah, I'll reach out to the old mortgage company during the week. MM says 409. I am all over the place in my word count today.
Yeah, you
get that. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Oh my goodness. It is 6:43.
I have 637.
Yeah, that one. Why did I say 43? I don't even know that. I don't have that number in front of me anywhere. I don't know what just happened.
Blah, 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 blah.
So, I mean, it sounds like a good number. So, anyway. Yeah. I will be contacting them tomorrow, MM. So let's go ahead and call it. I'll be back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. You want to do your outro? Tell people where to find you, all that good fun stuff.
Howdy, neighbors. It's Sako to me, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those 3 things. Remember, on Monday, tomorrow, I am doing an 8-hour drawing stream where I am drawing people's book characters. And for $5 donation, you can get on my queue, and all of the proceeds will go to my mom.
Yay! My mom's treatments. That's awesome. And the link should be just below. I think I have everything in there. Cool. I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. Today, I baked a pie, started my taxes, and cleaned up 600 and almost 700 words. So not too shabby. If you want to find me across the interwebs over on my YouTubes and my blog this week, I talked about why that writing advice is both right and wrong, because when you're a writer, they give you tons of advice, and some of it is useful, and some of it is only useful if you use it in certain ways rather than necessarily going by the book.
Indeed.
And over on the podcast, I have my starter's guide for social media, talking about Instagram and Pinterest this week. Last week was Facebook and Twitter and hashtags. And next week, I think I'm talking about, what do I have scheduled? Probably Reddit and Tumblr, the dark side. Dun, dun, dun. So,
not anymore. They cleaned up Tumblr.
They did. And well, I talk about how it's only the dark side if that's who you're hanging out with like all social media.
Yeah.
So but yeah, you can find me at morganhazelwood.com, YouTube/Morgan Hazelwood, and the podcast is called Writing Tips and Writerly Musings, and you can find it at morganhazelwood.fireside.fm. So thank you for coming. I'll be back again next week, and maybe Sako might even join me. Have fun. Bye.